Those can seem pathologically serious, but they're also very funny.
Yeah.
Very funny. They have an acutely, highly tuned sense of the absurd. You know, they can laugh at themselves in certain moments, like, oh my God, how silly I am to be so uptight about something that is going to happen whether I do anything about it or not. But they're just so aware of everything. It's really the most complexly self-aware of all of the signs, because it's opposite Pisces. And all of the signs that are opposite one another are two faces of the same thing. And Pisces is the unity. It's everything blended into everything else. It's what happens before we're born, where we go when we die, and when we dream, when we surrender into meditation. So we take that everythingness, that unity, and we try and differentiate it into functioning little distinct bits of things that each have their own integrity. And that's Virgo's job. It's can be stressful.
That's really cool. Do you know how the Virgin became its sort of icon?
Yeah, because the Vestal virgins back in the Roman times were not actually virgins. They were sacred prostitutes. They were virginal because they were not beholden to any man.
Oh.
They were not to be in partnership or in a bonded relationship with a partner. Their sexuality is very highly tuned. Virgos are very sexual people. They're not actually virginal. All the earth signs are sexual because it's about the sensations and
makes sense.
Yes, and sexuality with Virgo is a sacred transformational calling, and so most people with a strong Virgo sexuality is so much more than just an act of love or an act of pleasure or recreation or whatever. Taurus can do it recreational. Virgo can't. Virgo has to commit her sexual energy to a sacred, higher. So it's really important for Virgos to know that the person they're making love with shares that intention, right? Because otherwise it sets up a vibrational dissonance that's quite painful. To try and make love and surrender in an alchemical act of sacred lovemaking with someone who's just doing it for fun doesn't work.
They're like magicians.
They are the magician. Mutable Earth is, if anyone is going to find a path to actual embodied physical magic, it'll be Virgo. That's the place where that change will occur. In fact, Virgo is the sign of the living biosphere of the planet, which is magic.
Well,
it really is. Like biological life, we don't tend to think of that way anymore because we've kind of normalized it. Like, we figured out how it all works scientifically, but in actuality, the germination of a seed is an act of magic. It literally is.
That's very neat. Yeah, I'm just getting into sacred geometry, and they said the seed growing into the flower, the tree, the fruit, and then the seed again is the 5-step process of life that we don't understand very much.
That's right, exactly. Virgo understands it intuitively, but mentally it's very stressful. Another thing that most people don't know about Virgo, that you don't really get until you look at the relationship between Chiron as ruler of Virgo, is that it's not really very mental. Traditionally, Mercury has been considered to be the ruler of Virgo. Mercury's the ruler of Gemini. You know Mercury, right? Mercury is the mind. Mercury is the thoughts zipping around. It's the messenger. Virgo is intelligence of the physical world. It's physical intelligence, but it's not a mental intelligence. It's an earth sign. So Mercury doesn't actually belong. Chiron, on the other hand, mythologically, was very intelligent. He was the first centaur. And he was the first astrologer, the first doctor. The word chiromancy and chiropractic are rooted in Chiron because he was a wise sage. But he had the wisdom of the body, and the horse's lower body and the human upper body, and he represented the union of the spirit and the flesh. And that's the kind of intelligence that Virgo has.
Instinct